So one of the consequences with this is I'm not sure how her employment options are going to be after this whole ordeal. Like what does that look like a couple of years from now?
What's next for Carlee Russell?
Do people still remember this? Like, is this going to be a thing where 5 years from now well, actually, not even 5 years. I don't know how far along she is in her program, but let's say she gets done with her program, right?
Mm-hmm. And let's say it's a standard 2-year nursing program after, because she already has her bachelor's. So,
right.
Yeah, let's say the 2 more years clinical practice.
So she's done with that. She's now trying to apply for a nursing job.
Okay.
And boom. The hospital looks up her social media. It's like, that's weird. It's like nothing here. You don't have any social media? And then they start looking at news articles when they type your name, and there's a plethora of news articles of this story, and this is what you are now.
Ooh.
Like, you're
she
this.
She has to go by her middle name or some other name?
Maybe she has to change her name. I mean, you can't change your face.
I would have said get your maiden name, like, change to, well, if you and your boyfriend progressed, but it doesn't seem like that relationship's going to continue either. Or continue.
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, that's he's been in the shadows, which I don't blame him. I think he should be at this point because, who wants the extra heat?
Yeah.
But shout outs to Logic Reason.
Taking all the photos down on Instagram. You usually don't see men caring too much to do anything with the couple's photos, but unless it's over. So.
Yeah, we have no idea. I mean, I don't know. If I was in this situation and maybe she's reaching out to him, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's the reason why. Like, maybe they had a little thing and, he's like, look, I needed some space from you. And she's like, nah, I'm not going to allow that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with this whole story. So then you have to reach out to me and talk to me and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that was a complete opposite thing to do. That's what you wanted me to do.
Absolutely.
Like, you just pushed me even farther away. Who knows, right? That's all speculation at this point because we just don't know anything about that. Nobody's talking at this point. Mm-hmm. So that could be it. It could be more of a parent thing, kind of like what I said earlier. Maybe she wanted more money from her parents, and her parents were like, hey, maybe you need to get rid of that car. And it's like, what? Bump that. I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm a strong, independent, tantalizing black woman.
And you guys are going to wish you gave me what I asked for.
100%
because you're going to find out what it's like to not have me. And
I'm going to disappear myself.
Yep.
Take it. Right? I don't know. This is a weird. What's weird about it is not the fact that she did it. Because there's a bunch of crazy people out there. The weird thing about it is the fact that media and the police department and the community jumped so fast on this.
They did.
And I don't know what the difference is between her and every other case that doesn't get this kind of attention. I don't know the difference.
Part of my theory was, right? Or you said you don't know the difference. Do you have a theory on it?
Go ahead and shoot.
Okay, my theory or partial theory, still developing, is that her parents are, well-to-do, middle to upper class. They stormed into police stations, or called the police to the house to report her missing, and they did not accept the whole, she's over 18, it hasn't been X amount of hours that she's been missing. They probably were like, no, we are such and such in the community, our daughter's missing, this is unlike her, she doesn't ever not come home, she lives with us, she went to school, she went to her job, and she never came back, so I think the emphasis, not to say other parents don't do that, but when you have both forces coming in, I think it's looked at a little bit differently than, unfortunately, if you have one parent, or if you're just not, if your personality type is more of like, I don't even want to say accepting it, because I think everyone's going to fight for their child, or they should.
Okay.
But coming in on your own, if you have more of a timid personality, you might be like, oh, okay, well, I'll do the procedure, Like, not to compare people to luggage, but when luggage has been missing, I was like demanding, like, I need a better answer than filling out this missing luggage form. And then you get back to me whenever. I need to know now, today. Today, I need to see some cameras with some video footage and all this stuff, So I think that is more of an attitude of the parents. So I think, answer the question, that they were the catalyst and the push, and then people really were taking it seriously. And when the police know that you're not going to just let it go, like, or you don't. So also, not that the other parents do let it go, but they know that you have a job that if your child is missing, you can actually, you don't have to ask somebody or beg for a shift, you know, oh, can I take off the shift? I need to go check on my child. Like, you can be there. I can call you every day. I can call you on my lunch break. I'll be there in the morning. I could be there at night. I'll send my son to go and check on her brother, you know. So you might as well just actually get on this case. And then I think the fear in the community, because it seems like with the press conference that the police had, they were trying to quickly, like, dispel any fear in the community. So it looks like whatever community area, smaller community within Birmingham or within Hoover area, people aren't used to this kind of thing. So they're wondering, like, okay, are there more assailants out here? Like, you know, we need to find this guy if there's someone out here kidnapping folks. Because also, Carlee and them live in a place where who else lives? They live there. And they always do something about it when it's in their area.
Okay. I think that is valid, and I do think that probably there might have been a shift whenever the police finally released the phone call that she made with dispatch. Which, and I completely understand why the police did not release that at first, because they probably listened to it and were like, ooh, this does not sound good. Mm-hmm. One of the confusing things, it was not really confusing because this is all horseshit, but one of the confusing things about the dispatch call is the fact that you say that there is a toddler on the street.
Yes.
Right, that's what you say.
I saw a toddler and I just had to pull over.
Okay.
I'm such a good Samaritan.
Cool. Usually in a situation like that, the person typically, like, grabs the toddler.
Yes.
The toddler would be in...
Hey, everything's going to be okay. Come with me.
Consoling the toddler. The toddler's probably freaking out, making a lot of ruckus because A, I'm in a foreign place. B, I might have almost got hit. Mm-hmm. I'm alone and scared. I don't know who you are. Like, X. I want my parents. There's a whole bunch of things that would cause this toddler person to be making a bunch of ruckus.
Okay.
So the fact that there's no noise at all is weird. Now, you tried to cover yourself by saying you weren't with the toddler and that the toddler was still on the street when you made this call. But then that makes you still suspect because, wait, so you just left this toddler out there? You saw a toddler in danger and then you just left him there. All right. Hey, little baby, I'm going to call the police. You stay right there.
Don't run into the road or anything. And I'm also actively driving.
Because that makes a lot of sense, right? It does.
Several football fields far.
Yeah. So that makes no sense. The other thing that doesn't make sense is the fact that you said that the toddler was wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper, mm-hmm. but you couldn't see the toddler that well.
Ooh, at night. That's a good point. You couldn't see the toddler well, and then they may or may not have been wearing shoes. She couldn't tell. She thinks they didn't have it. 3 or 4? Asking question. Oh, this is what I meant about the accent. You know, when they asked how old the child is.
You like the Valley Girl
toddler,
accent. Yeah, you like
3
that.
or 4?
That's your people, though.
I am from California.
Yeah, that's your
part
folks.
of me.
Yeah. So you should feel right at home.
No, I think a lot of it is exaggerated. I mean, I'm sure my voice isn't everybody's, like, best tune to hear all the time. But, you know, it's me. So, see, a little southern ones came out. But, no. Yeah, it was just very interesting to hear that call.
Yeah. Her. So I imagine.
Did it seem authentic to you? Listening, even though we know now that.
No, absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. I bring this up because, you know, it makes sense why the police were like, yeah, we're not going to release this because this doesn't sound good.
She doesn't seem frantic at all. Or not even frantic, because some people can keep it together because you can't be frantic while a child is there because then they'll get frantic. But you don't seem. You're just like, you don't seem out of.
Well, I don't even have the opportunity to address that because the actual things that you said don't make sense. So I can't even get into your demeanor.
You don't believe the white tee and the diaper?
Well, the first two things I said would be the main reason why I'm out.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Oh, that marks you off completely. Okay.
Okay.
That's true, though. No, I hear what you're saying.
I give you an example. right? A similar situation happened in Chicago not too long ago. That wasn't a toddler. That was a baby.
On the street.
A baby got left on the street. It turns out the mom put the baby there, but we didn't know that at the time. A person saw this baby on the street, stopped abruptly, right? The person behind him also stops, starts yelling at the guy, hey, you can't do that on the street. And then he's like, there's a baby on the road. And immediately that other person's like, oh,
and
there's a baby? Out, right? And then all of a sudden you see all these people coming out the woodwork trying to figure out how a baby ends up on the street. Right? And they're asking questions. Is this your baby? No, it's not my baby. Is this your baby? No, it's not my baby. Where did the baby come from? I don't know. And everybody's asking all these questions. Now, all of a sudden, bystanders who are walking down the street, they start asking questions. Hey, what's going on? It's like, we just found this baby.
Yeah.
So there's like 10 people trying to figure out where this baby came from. Right? The baby is crying, right? Throughout this whole time. Mm-hmm. You know, and this other lady comes out of nowhere and says, oh, I'm really good with babies. And she tries to hold them and try
Multiple witnesses stopping. I mean, like, who doesn't stop for a baby? And for some reason, in Carlee's case, she's the only one that reported a baby
and again,
on the street by
that's
themselves.
Why I'm saying I can't even talk about her demeanor because the actual facts of the situation don't make sense.
We don't even get that far.
I don't even get that far.
You're right.
So that's where...
And those investigators probably didn't get that. They're like, come on, man.
This doesn't make sense, which is why they're just like, okay, this could be a situation. Let's play this cool. Maybe there's something that we're not seeing because this right here could be very damaging.
Yeah.
Publicity wise and, PR wise. So let's proceed with caution. And so that's what I think why it took so long for this stuff to, be released. And so they had more information. And of course, they finally released a whole press conference. Your boys right here.
Oh, dear.
Right. Shout outs to this guy in the purple or plum suit.
Facts.
I don't know who that guy. I think he's the police chief, right?
I think
that's the police chief.
One was the mayor, and then the next one was maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Chief Nicholas. Let's go, Nicholas.
Let's get it.
Let me see.
Aaliyah for the win, man.
Go ahead, Nicholas.
Thank everyone for being here today. Besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation.
Now, he knows he was going to be on national television, right?
I know you're going to say, oh, and this is your place too. I spent some time in Alabama, y'all. Which one is it, Cali or Alabama?
I mean,
know.
This is...
I love my people. I mean, this is... Yes.
I'm not saying that this suit is a problem.
Yes.
I'm just saying...
Give me the South all day.
I'm just saying that this is kind of a weird occasion. That's all I'm saying. Like this, you can wear. You can wear the suit. I don't have any issue with the suit.
What do you mean a weird occasion?
You're about to go on national television to talk about a fraudulent case.
Maybe.
Right, putting your whole city on the map for the wrong reason, and then you come out with this loud, 70s weird uncle type vibe suit on.
Ooh, do you think maybe it was, I'm gonna say laundry day, but not laundry, dry cleaning day, and his wife was like, I didn't pick up the laundry.
And he's like, Brandane, what do you mean you didn't pick up the laundry?
I'm gonna get it tomorrow. No, the press conference is today in an hour.
And so he has like a friend named Bucky or Slickback. And then he's like, hey, homie, you got the slimy one. And he's like, hey, all I got is this plum one. And he's like, that'll do. Go ahead and put it in
the... That'll do. Well, when you say that, now I'm looking at the back of the collar. It's actually pushed a little further back. It might not be his exact size.
I don't think this... Yeah, you might be right. This might be dry cleaning day. I mean, it's not a bad
suit, though. It's just flashy. Or it's loud for the event. Yes.
And this is honestly, this is something...
This is my moment.
But this is honestly something I would expect from like a black person. Having this dude, it just doesn't, I don't know. Hey, maybe he has a different history.
Don't do my people like that. But what was the other name on there? It's Skip or not Skip? Chip.
Chip. Yeah. So Chip worked for the actual news department. Yeah. So I feel bad for Hoover. Shout outs to Hoover.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the lady who organized the team that searched for however many hours they searched trying to find this chick.
Terrible. What a waste of resources. And time. And it's hot. It's freaking hot. We having heat waves and
historic heat
blazing
across the country.
Because you said it wasn't just a day, right? Of the search that they.
No, it's multiple days.
Multiple days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For a girl that's not missing, who just prances on back home.
Straight facts.
It's like, I'm back, guys.
And
I escaped from an 18-wheeler.
Well, wait a minute. She's been quiet since she got back. She hasn't said a word to anybody. You know, or I guess supposedly.
Well, the initial story, right?
She's dealing with a lot of mental trauma right now.
If you could just bottle up the anger I had when I heard they used the word trauma.
She has trauma. So, you know.
You're the one traumatizing everybody else in this situation.
First
your
of
parents
all,
are traumatized. What if your parents had a heart attack from finding out you're missing?
You are being.
They're older, so like obviously older. But I mean, like I don't want to call them elderly.
You're being insensitive.
They could have had health issues.
You're being insensitive to black women's issues.
You could have had your brother going nuts, checking everybody's house, your boyfriend's house, and all of a sudden being like, "Look, where is she?"
You say these things like she would care.
You're right, because Carlee cares about Carlee. And she's going to be a nurse? Please,
100%
please don't let this girl be a nurse. Please.
100% facts.
She be taking Instagram photos of herself while she's one of those people
That's why you become a nurse.
Getting banged in the closet.
That's why look, this is why you become a nurse, all right? Everyone knows the best way to start an OnlyFans is to become a nurse first.
Gosh. And she's already living the lifestyle that she wants.
She has a Mercedes. She's doing the playbook.
Got a 2-story house already with the parents.
Let's go. I mean, she's living life good. She hasn't even graduated yet.
She's probably one of those people that's like, you're a bum. What are you doing? I'm like, you don't even pay rent. Facts. Get out of here. Get out of here.
You live in Hoover, Alabama. No offense to the people who live there, but I don't even know where that is. Where's Hoover?
Yeah, but apparently she's hot shit there. I have a red Mercedes that I just don't know if it's an SUV or a sedan. Well, it can't be far. I was gonna see if it's like a county or if it's a that's really bad with my geography of it, but I know
it's not too far from Birmingham,
so it is around. Okay, that's what I was wondering, because Birmingham is where she goes to school, and that's a hospital that's ours. So that makes me that's correct. Hoover is an area that is probably more like of a tight-knit community, and they were like, oh my goodness, do we have kidnappers?
This definitely looks like a one-horse town.
Yeah, so stuff like that doesn't happen there.
There's a nice little park size, though, right here. Mark's Outdoor Sports. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
So nicer. Well, actually, Birmingham is nice altogether, but that's probably one of the even nicer areas.
Yeah, Birmingham's okay. I
mean, I'm comparing it to Montgomery, where I was.
Okay,
so
first of all, I'm talking about me being actually in Birmingham. You over here talking about Montgomery? What?
Shout out to Montgomery, the small piece that's a sliver of niceness next to Publix.
That's not it.
Put a comment in the chat, or not in the chat. Put a comment if you have been to a Publix. If you have Publix in your area. By the way, I do need y'all to like and subscribe because I'm itching to have a 100 subscriber party. Can I please get one of those? We can't get one of those if we're stuck on 95. I know you're out there. You're watching. We see you. So, come on back. Make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell so you know to come back.
Is that the end of the show? I mean,
No. I just wanted to insert that in there a little bit.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think. We'll still have our show. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about this. This is dumb, honestly.
Okay. Well, yeah, I didn't know if you were gathering thoughts or if you had anything else.
No, I didn't know what Hoover was. So I was like, let me just check out what Hoover was talking about. But yeah, this is bad all around. I think that this is going to impact the city in the worst way. I have no idea what her future employment's going to look like after this. She might have to change her name. She might have to move to a different country or something like that. She's going to be known as the female version of Jussie Smollett. Mm-hmm. Ooh. And that's what it is. And, hopefully it doesn't impact, real cases of women getting abducted. Hopefully that doesn't have any negative impact on that one.
I hope not.
But that's a hope. Now that's a possibility. Don't play with resources, especially the public. The public will turn to a mob. Shame on the public for going after the business owner that had nothing to do with this circumstance. But yeah, that's what we have. We'll be back on Tuesday.
Before that, though.
What's up?
Do you think that Carlee can spin this to use it? You know, so she's infamous at first, but then she now is like a media personality, and that's just something in her past. Like Kim Kardashian situation. Oh, that was just, you know, the time I got missing. I don't really talk about that anymore. I now have a show that y'all should tune into.
Can she spin it? Sure.
Although I don't know who her audience would be.
I mean, I don't know who would. You could do whatever. I don't know what kind of, like, you're talking about entertainment, so I guess maybe some type of show. But who would want to sit there and listen to her talk?
True. It's more likely of the OnlyFans type thing. You're right.
So.
You're right, because all we want is that last little interview of the follow-up questions getting answered, and then that's it.
Yeah, which I imagine she's going to crumble in front of pressure. Which is why she's saying how much trauma she has right now.
She's afraid to go to jail. I have trauma. I can't be held accountable. No.
Well, really, I don't think she's afraid of jail. I think she's afraid of public ridicule.
She didn't think about that part when she was doing all this?
She wanted attention and sympathy. She didn't want individuals. She didn't want ridicule. That's not what she wanted.
Well, she was thinking people wouldn't find out, and she'd be known as the girl who went missing and came back.
She wanted people to say, "Oh, I feel sorry for you," pat her on the butt. She didn't want people to say, "You're a monster." Like, that's not.
Yeah, and you wasted resources from people who are actually getting kidnapped.
Yeah, so that's why she's saying, "Oh, I have trauma," because she's not trying to feel that heat.
Because this is what happens when people are given too much. They have too much time, too much money, and resources on their hands. They start doing shit like this, and she just needs a dose of reality. You take your L. Take your L, Carlee. Y'all don't be this girl.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.